Dueling Dialogues presents His and Hers with Grace Matthews, Caddyman, and Connor Murphy.
Welcome to episode 22 of His and Hers with Grace Matthews and the Candy Band in the heart of the USA, Springfield, Missouri. Hi, you two.
Hello.
Hey.
How's it going?
It's pretty good in the Ozarks.
Good.
Yeah. Fall is coming.
I think fall is here. I've been freezing.
Do a lot of people have fireplaces?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so when it's cooler out, you can smell campfire kind of?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
in fact,
I love that.
The other night I walked into our sunroom and I go, oh my gosh, something's burning. And I'm looking all over the place and it's like you walk out in the backyard and somebody's burning.
Yeah.
Their fireplace or their fire pit or, and first time you smell it, it's kind of overtakes you and you're looking around all paranoid,
Yeah, exactly.
As the season rolls on, you get a little more used to it, which could be good or bad, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So our thought is progress, not perfection.
Okay.
Make progress, even if it's not perfect. I think that's the moral of the story.
As long as you're making some sort of progress. There you go.
Exactly, because the need for perfection can sort of debilitate us, paralyze us.
Right.
So make progress.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to talk from our own experience a lot today. We're going to talk about yoga, and yoga mostly as a therapy, as a way of life. We do want to remind everybody that we're not doctors.
Okay.
This is
Me neither.
a system that has actually helped us in our lives. I started doing yoga when my youngest son was first born. He's now 24. So I've been doing yoga for a long time. I started using it as a way because when my youngest son was born, and as we've talked about before, we had a son with, we still have him, with illnesses. And I was going to not be working away from home anymore. And that was like a critical crisis time in my life. And I really did consider a lot of medications, and I certainly wouldn't say don't use medications.
Right.
Because if you need them, use them. But it was a way I learned to cope with a lot of things. And throughout my life, yoga has been a way of life for me. Okay, and as I think we mentioned before, during furlough, lockdown, whatever you want to call it, when the caddy man came home, he realized I did that. I mean, it was like he knew I did it, but had never really experienced it.
Right.
He ended up joining in, and it freed him to deal, I'm going to let him talk about that, with a lot of things in his life. But what I want to do first is to define yoga. Yoga is a verb.
Okay.
At one time it was kind of used as a noun.
Right.
This is yoga. But yoga is an act.
It
is an act of doing something. Okay, in Sanskrit, an individual consciousness unites with that of a universal consciousness. That's what yoga means. It's an ongoing activity, and it takes place in many ways, in many forms in your life, not just exercise. The exercise, of course, is the body.
Right.
But the body and the mind are connected along with the spirit. So what you want to do is to make and create harmony. Now, I want to clarify some things. You can love yoga and still love God. Okay?
Right. It's not a religion.
Yoga. It is not a religion. Okay. It is not an anti-religion. When we say connect to consciousness, to me, consciousness is God. God is the great consciousness, but it is not anti-God.
Right.
Believe me, I'm all about God. Okay? It is not, I have a friend that does not believe in doing yoga because she believes that it is blasphemy to God and Christianity. It really isn't. I mean, so I want to get that straight. Okay, it's about connecting in with nature. And when you're talking about mental health and mental illness, I believe it's connecting man with man.
Okay.
And I mean that yourself with yourself. So man can be woman, woman, but I'm not talking about that in a sexuality sense. I'm talking about that in connecting to who you really are, connecting all the parts of you. Um, Again, yoga combines physical exercise, mental meditation, because it is a moving, active form of meditation, and it's also a breathing technique. Now, new study. I should have saved it. I know everybody out there will go, she didn't save it? I save all studies, right? You know how for years we think that, okay, you burn up extra fat,
Right.
by doing exercise and
Exactly.
such. Okay? New study says we actually exhale it. I mean, the exercise loosens it up, but it doesn't come out when we go to the bathroom. It comes out when we breathe.
Oh, weird.
Oh my gosh, who's been really saying that for years?
Huh.
Yogis.
There you
Yogis
go.
said, everything will get better if you breathe
Huh.
properly.
And breathe correctly.
So,
Right.
exactly. So, yoga is a verb, It's your relationship with the world. Create a relationship with the world. Hopefully that's a harmonic relationship. Yoga is how we make life happen every day. It's how we create the ultimate relationship on earth.
Okay.
It is how we become engaged in our surroundings and with ourselves. It is how we become involved with different activities. It's how we participate, how we connect. And you go, well, those are kind of mean the same thing. They do, but it's all of those.
Okay.
I'm going to let, do you want to talk a little bit about what
Sure.
yoga has meant to you?
You bet. As Grace said earlier, I have worked out my entire life. I've been a big guy into weight training and machines. As I've gotten older, I've switched to the machines, but still kept a lot of free weights involved. But as we said, when they shut down everything, I needed some sort of workout and activity, and so I switched over to trying yoga with my yoga master. And let me tell you, for you out there like myself that thought it was a joke, that it was easy, that it was for women or the faint of heart, I was fooled completely.
Wow.
I felt parts of my body I'd never felt before. I hurt in places I hadn't hurt before. Just the stretching and the using your own weight on a lot of the positions was really rewarding, and I saw results very quickly. We did this 15 positions, and they said you would see results in a month. Well, being an old workout freak, I have read that and heard that many, many times before. Try this routine and in a month you'll feel great, you'll see these results, blah, blah, blah. Wrong.
Right.
But with this, I lost weight, I lost inches. The main thing was I felt better. I
Right.
didn't have trouble walking up and down stairs. I could get up off the ground without having to hold onto a chair. It completely convinced me that the people that created this 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, however long it was, knew what they were talking about. And that if you try it and stay with it, it works. But only if also you do get your mind in harmony. If you just go through the positions and you let your mind wander, I found out that as I did it more, I have been able to concentrate on doing the positions or poses correctly. The more I do them correctly, the more I get out of them. The more I do them correctly, I can tell that I relax, I concentrate, it is more beneficial, and I do feel more at one with myself, with my inner self, with my mind, and with my spirituality. It does make a difference when they say on this, when they're giving you the what does this pose work, and it goes over the different parts of your body where you can feel it. If you really think about that particular part of your body at that time, you can feel it working there. And that's the one big difference I could tell between lifting weights or machines, was you could kind of let your mind wander because you can just kind of go through the motions and do the motions and still do your set of 10, 50, whatever you're doing. With this, you need to be in tune. And by the more I do it, the more I have become in tune and the more I like it.
Interesting.
The benefits are unbelievable. I mean,
I've never tried it. I wouldn't know how to even start. So what would you suggest to somebody like me?
Well, first of all, what I would suggest is, what I would tell you, it's the best free thing in the whole wide world. And you go, oh, nothing's free. Yoga is free.
Okay.
Okay? You can find a book, a picture, a pose, anywhere online, all sorts of places. But one of the best places to find it is one of your favorite places, Connor. It is on YouTube.
Oh, there you go.
You just put in yoga for beginners, yoga for seniors, yoga for,
cripples like me.
Teenagers. Yeah, whatever. yoga for healing cancer, yoga for, flattening your stomach, yoga for stress, yoga for abuse victims. I mean, it doesn't matter. Right. There is a yoga out there, and there's a teacher for you.
Cool.
Or like I said, I mean, we even have a poster on the wall with every yoga position. And so sometimes I go, oh, I kind of want to work on, like the other day, I put in, Caddyman has a shoulder, yoga for shoulder issues, yoga for sleeping problems. Find the positions. It is the best thing you can do. And you go, well, how long in a day do I have to,
do that? Yeah.
Lot time. 15 minutes will get you there.
Wow.
15 minutes. You can do 15 poses in 15 minutes.
There you go.
Maybe even less.
The good thing about yoga, too, is the instructors stress, okay, we're going to hold this pose for 30 seconds. Then they will follow it up with, but if you cannot make 30 seconds, if you only make 10, great. If you only make 15, great. The act of getting the most out of yourself at that particular time is what makes it good, and that's a very important part of people that maybe not have worked out, but seeing gains, the reward of seeing gains. That's what I have found very much in this. More than a couple positions were hard for me because one reason I do have a bad shoulder that causes me problems. But I could not do them for the 30 seconds, or it was really painful. I have worked up to 30 seconds almost on everything now. I can even do exercise or poses that I couldn't do before.
There you go.
So the gratification that you get increase very quickly with this, and as we all love instant gratification, the gratification comes quickly, and you get the reward by maybe, sleeping better at night, or losing some inches, or being able to walk up and down the stairs, or my big deal was when I could bend over and touch the floor.
Right.
Exactly.
I had touched the floor, but that's usually because I had fallen.
One thing you told me the other day is about your weakest point. Do you want to explain that? About feeling it in your weakest point?
Yes, that's another thing. When they tell you you're going to feel this in your thigh, okay, say this particular pose, you're going to feel it in your stomach, your hamstring, and your lower back. It really isolates those three particular parts of your body. You feel it the most in the muscle or area that you need it the most. In other words, what is your weakest point is where you feel it the most. And I've actually had those switch, where I felt it maybe in my hamstring at first. Now I'm feeling it more in my back, or I'm feeling it more in my stomach now when I do it, because I have strengthened that one area, and now I need to strengthen the other.
Ah.
It will kind of rotate to what area needs to be strengthened the most. That's the good thing about it. It's kind of like all-wheel drive now. It switches the power to the wheel that needs it
Right.
at the time.
Well, that's very
So
interesting.
it's like a smartphone or a smart car. It's smart exercise, right?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
But it does. I mean, not only is it great for flexibility and strength. In fact, they did study a group of men and that did yoga, and they discovered that it did increase their ability to deadlift weight.
Wow.
I mean, when you're holding up your whole body in some of these postures and poses, think about it. That's quite a bit of weight.
Well, I know what that feels like because of photography. Have you ever heard of Camera Sutra? By the end of a shoot, it feels like you've been doing squats in the gym for 8 hours. So I could see yoga benefiting me for sure.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And it's so good for your health. Your blood pressure, your immunity, the blood flow. For example, a lot of the poses are great for, staving off strokes, blood clots, because it's all about getting your blood flowing to every part of your body. And we know that when you get oxygen and blood to parts of your body, it's very healing, and it's also boosts your immunity.
Right.
It keeps you from getting sick. We know that after one session of yoga, people seem to be happier. One session. What can you say that about?
Sex?
Yeah, and then you're not. Some people are not happy after.
Yeah, true.
It reduces things like cortisol level.
Wow.
Blood sugar. It really is about balance. It relieves a lot of tension. It increases the volume at which your lungs can hold air, so that you'd have to take fewer breaths.
Wow.
So it does expand your lungs. It also improves digestive problems like IBS.
Huh.
It increases your self-esteem. It is great for pain. And I'm going to guess for a lot for arthritic pain.
Right.
I think it helps a lot of people. I know that I seem to have a lot less arthritic pain than most people my age because I've been doing yoga for a long time. My heart rate is phenomenal. Fitbit just did a study on my heart, and they put me in a runner's class.
Oh, wow. Holy
Yeah,
smoke.
and I didn't have a great heart to start with. I had a congenital heart defect that was detected at different times in my life, even when I was pregnant with my youngest son. So that's gone because at 57, I have my heart is functioning at the rate of a 30-year-old runner.
Wow.
Which is amazing. I wish some other things would function that well.
What a coincidence. My heart functions as a 30-year-old running shoe.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it sounds like I really need to take up and try some of this yoga stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you really do. And it keeps people that struggle drug free. It keeps people that struggle with alcohol free. Wow. It really is a transformation through awareness of yourself. For me, it does reduce a lot of inflammation. I have 2 inflammatory diseases, and I will tell you, kind of like I said before, I do not live in pain like some of the other people in one of my support groups with Hashimoto's.
Right.
I mean, they are in terrible pain, and it really must be the yoga. That because it keeps the inflammation down, it helps relationships, it improves things like allergies, but it makes us also have more self-love, and I think a lot of people need more self-love. It also creates change, and just like the Caddyman was talking about earlier, after he started doing yoga, he started working on issues he had his whole life. It freed him and connected him with himself enough to get help for his OCD.
There you go.
And I'll let you say just a little bit about that, because I think that is if we could make any point here today, it would be try yoga as mental therapy,
Just as much mental as it is physical.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, very much so. As a matter of fact, I consulted with a therapist and still doing so. And I have read several books that have been suggested. Every one of them says the curing of, or the helping the cure and to handle OCD, everything is yoga and meditation,
right,
which kind of go hand in hand.
And next week we're going to do a segment on meditation too.
And to talk about the yoga, where it gives you one of the things that helps cure OCD, so you can handle it, is upping your self-esteem. And by being clear-headed, and yoga really helps you focus and get in tune with yourself, and it helps you truly believe in yourself and believe that you can overcome your problems or your setbacks or your sickness, because you can make strides very rapidly by just doing what it says. And the breathing was the hardest thing for me to get acclimated to, was breathing at the right time. And lifting weights, you do that too, but it really affects it in yoga. The breathing part, it's as important as doing the poses correctly. As a matter of fact, you can, as long as you're doing the breathing right and you don't have the pose absolutely perfect, you're still getting the full benefit out of it, because you are doing physically all you can do, and you're doing mentally all you can do by being able to breathe correctly. And it's amazing the amount of air you can bring into your body by expanding your lungs. And everyone knows that, we all need oxygen to perform our brains better. And God knows I have destroyed enough of mine over the years that I need all the help I can get.
Yeah.
And so I sure don't need to lose any more, that's for sure. But it's like I said, and not to make fun of it like I used to, but I am a firm believer. I believe that everyone ought to try it. The biggest thing is it takes 15 minutes.
Yeah.
15 minutes. I mean, everybody's got 15 minutes where they're doing nothing, where you're watching TV or you're waiting for your favorite show to come on.
And you can do it any time of day.
Yes.
If you're a night person, do it at night. You know what? It doesn't matter. We're morning people. We do it in the morning. But, and there are a heck of a lot of people that do it at lunchtime.
Right.
So whatever works. If you've got a kid that takes a nap at 2 o'clock, do it at 2 o'clock. It doesn't matter. But it's awesome, and I hope that everybody takes something away from this segment. And I know everybody's anxiously awaiting the TV shows.
Sure.
So why don't you give us that?
Sure. A couple weeks ago, we were talking about Fargo, and the new season of Fargo is out, season 4.
Ooh.
It's a true story that takes place in Kansas City, Missouri this time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I just found
wow.
out, there's a couple, I think 2 episodes out already, so I missed the launch of that somehow. But I quickly caught up as soon as I saw it in the list. I checked it out. So
okay, remind me where Fargo's at on your
I don't have it on my screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fargo is on AMC, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, you might be able to
If
find
not,
it on
you can
Netflix.
Google it.
Yeah,
You can
Google it for
so,
sure.
No problem.
The first couple shows today are derived from TV movies. The first one is actually my favorite movie. It's called Snatch. That was a movie directed by Guy Ritchie, Madonna's ex, or one of her exes.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and it follows the same storyline. So it's a group of hustlers that stumble on, some gold bullion, and they're thrust into the high stakes world of organized crime, and a little bit of a comedy in there as well. Just some of the accents are hard to understand. They have a lot of Cockney accents, so some people won't be into that as much, but you just turn on the subtitles and you're good to go.
Yeah. That would be me, probably.
Yeah, so the next one is Treadstone, and Treadstone is from the Born Identity series. So, so if you like the movies, you'll probably like Treadstone, and that's on Amazon too.
That means I won't get to watch it.
He gets a little too into those Born
I love
movies.
Jason.
Oh my goodness.
He was from Nixon, Missouri. I mean, come on.
Okay.
I bought one of the cars in that movie series, actually. It was one of the agents, that were chasing them around the city, because that was filmed in Vancouver. So I actually have the car from that movie.
My gosh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Love that.
Yeah. So another show. This is for the documentary fans. Thought we'd stick a documentary because we haven't done a lot of documentaries yet. It's the Jeffrey Epstein Filthy Rich documentary.
Oh, yeah.
So have you seen that yet?
No, I haven't, but it is on my list.
Yeah, it's pretty disturbing. Pretty disturbing because there's
that's what my son said.
It's
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
yeah, the manipulation of the rich in this is unreal. So, if you're in that kind of mood for something like that, then it's great. Otherwise, it kind of made me sick. So
It did our son too. He thought it was pretty harsh, and he's only 30. So
right.
he was a little traumatized, but I mean,
Yeah.
not traumatized, but.
The next series we got here actually has two names. The first season was called The Young Pope, and the second season was called The New Pope. And that's on HBO Sky and Seymour. It's a drama starring Jude Law, John Malkovich is in it, and Silvio Orlando. And if you're Catholic, you'll probably get upset watching it, but it's very neat. It has it listed as a drama, but there's a lot of comedy in it as well. But that's a good one to binge watch because you'll quickly get caught up into the storyline, and it's a great show to catch. So. And the last show we're going to profile today is the True Detective series, and that's on HBO, Showtime, Sky, Star, and Warner. It's a crime drama mystery, and it's had all kinds of stars in it. Every season is a different story. Basically, it looks into the police investigations and unearths the personal and professional secrets of those involved, both within and outside the law. So it just kind of takes it a little bit deeper into a storyline. So that's a great one. Yeah, it's got a great rating. That's a 9 rating on IMDb in the movie database. So that's it. That's all we got for this week.
Oh, that's great. That's a great mix. Thanks for that.
Hey, no problem. It's my pleasure. I kind of enjoy doing it. So there you go.
Good deal. Well,
you guys have a good week.
You too. And Tempest Fugit. Time flies. Use it. Use it well. Use part of it doing yoga.
Yeah.
Be sure. See, this gives you a reason to move that coffee table.
There you go.
Move that coffee table and do your yoga.
Yes. Awesome advice.
Have a great week.
You two have a great week too. And thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye now.